Morning, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Morning, morning. It's S-H-E-T, huh? God damn. Morning, good morning. What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing today? Good. Oh man. So we'll get started here in a few minutes, guys. Hope everyone's doing well today. We got a lot of stocks in play today, so that's good. So we'll get into all that. We will get into it all. Oh man, sorry. What's up, everyone? How do you get the ticker in the middle of the screen? I think it's right click, configure, and then show title. I think.
Hey, good morning.
There he is. What's up, Steve?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good.
Cool. Yeah, the problem with DOS is like they keep doing updates and then all the settings change. So the way we made these settings years ago, you know what I mean, Alex? Like, isn't the way we do it now.
Oh, I
know
have
it's
no
in the
idea,
config
man. They
area.
change everything. I'm just glad that this
Yeah.
shit is saved.
Right, right. Yeah, but it's definitely in there, just not where it was when I set it up.
Right.
I mean, also, if it's easier for whoever's asking, just DM me and I'll send you my chart file, and then you could upload that one. And
Cool.
it has all those settings already.
That's pretty good. Does it have the Alex indicator preloaded in, or is that something else?
Preloaded in. Oh my God. Oh man.
Roy wants that indicator.
Yeah, Roy, you just have to DM Andrew. Andrew's got a whole channel.
Dude.
We're gonna go to the meetup in Orlando, and I'm like, Andrew, it's you and I again, right? Laser tag. He's like, nope. Not after all those indicator jokes.
You know, at this time, Andrew's gonna want to paintball.
Yeah, yeah. Where it hurts. Yeah, paintball would be sick. I mean, as long as you're on my team, Andrew. I don't want to go against you.
So we'll give it another minute and then we'll get started here, guys.
That's awesome. Thanks, Anas.
So just a heads up, guys, we started a second YouTube channel. So what I'm going to do on this second YouTube channel is have educational videos, like 5 to 10 minute lessons. And our existing YouTube channel that we have now, we're just going to use it for the free live trading on YouTube. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We're going to only post videos there going forward. And we'll get started here very shortly. All right, let's do it. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to live trading. If this is your first time on live trading, welcome. We use the webinars channel in Slack to communicate. So the way that we structure live trading is very simple. We talk about what's working, what's not working. We build the watchlist live and we trade the watchlist live. So let's kind of first go over yesterday. So yesterday, I traded OMH. So OMH, you know, what I do right, what I do wrong. So I lost on this yesterday. I ended up losing $1,400. It's not really the end of the world, but you know, what did I do right, what did I do wrong, and what can I learn from it? So what did I do right? What I did right is I was patient enough to wait for the first initial death candle. I did not anticipate it. I did not guess it. I just wanted to join the trend. So I ended up shorting the bounce here in the 290s. And you know, my thought process was do not add to a loser. Oftentimes what ends up happening is people try to add just to fix their average. And that is the fastest way to blow up, and that is the fastest way to lose your ass. So a lot of people always think, and a lot of people always ask, you know, when they should add. And you should only add when the stock is going in your favor. You do not want to add when the stock is going against you. So over and over and over and over again yesterday, I was verbally reminding myself that I should not be adding to a loser. I should not be adding to a loser. I need to see a confirmation. I need to see a break. I need to see something that tells me that, okay, this is the time to add. Unfortunately, I did not see that. I stopped out of my trade and I moved on for the day. Lo and behold, it ended up kind of coming back down, ended up breaking down, and, you know, had I just held, you know, all would have been forgiven and all would have been forgotten, but that's not the way to trade. The way to trade is not to pray that, you know, you're going to get out of a sticky situation. So what did I do right? What I did right is staying small. What I did right is not adding to the loser. And what I did wrong is I did not get out fast enough. I should have gotten out faster. So although I lost $1,400, it's not really the end of the world. You have to understand in trading, guys, that you're going to lose money. There's going to be no one has a 100% win rate. I have never seen anyone that has a 100% win rate. Even the scammers have a 99% win rate, right? Even the scammer, fraud, con artists keep it at 99 because no one is going to believe a 100% win rate. So that's number one. So understand, guys, that losing is part of the process. You just have to make sure that your losses are controlled. You have to make sure that you are not getting into a situation where your losses are significantly larger than your winners. So let's review this. My $1,400 loss is only 30% of the previous day's P&L. My $1,000 loss is only, a small portion of the previous 2 days before that. When I lost $10,000, yeah, that was tough, but I made back that money the next day, right? So what you have to understand is losing is part of the game. I have about a 80% win rate. So that means that if I place a trade, there's about an 80% chance I make money, right? It's the same thing in, one sec. It's the same thing for my trading. So long as I accept that losing is part of the game, so long as I accept that I could keep my losses under control, then I just have to chalk it up to the fact that, it was a shitty day. The stock didn't do what I expected. I kept my size small and, I walked away not really too stressed. If my biggest losing days are only a 10, 20, 30% of what my winning days are, give me losing days all day long, because the biggest problem in trading is not that traders cannot make money. It's that they let their losses overwhelm their wins. They let their losses destroy any possibility that they may have of a recovery. So if I lost $10,000 or $15,000 yesterday, that would have been catastrophic, not because I can't make that back, but compared to the P&L that I've been having, it would be catastrophic, right? So that's just something I want to remind you guys is even with an 80% win rate, you're still gonna lose, right? So let's say there's 20 trading days in the month. So that means that 4 trading days out of the month, you're gonna lose. 1, 2, 3. Go figure, right? And if I lose again today, that's gonna match my stats, right? Go figure. Like, it's literally right in front of you. 20 trading days in the month. If I have an 80% win rate, that means I'm gonna lose 4 days. 1, 2, 3, and God forbid I don't lose on the 4th day today. But do you see, guys, that the numbers don't lie, right? The numbers don't lie. So long as I'm keeping my losses under control, I don't care. I'll lose and lose and lose because I know that it is controlled and controlled and controlled. So yeah, that's kind of my lesson for today is it's okay to be a loser, but the biggest thing that I didn't do is I didn't add to a loser. Had I added to the loser to fix my average, once again, had I added to a loser to fix my average, I would have probably lost 5,000 or 6,000. But instead, I verbalized the fact that I don't want to add to a loser. I verbalized the fact that if I just take a small loss, that's going to be okay. And the rest is history. The rest is history. So here we are today, coming back to trading and looking for opportunities that fit my criteria, looking for opportunities that make sense to me. And once again, I'm just going to trade the process and see what happens. So the way that we build, and let me know if that makes sense, guys. Let me know if that makes sense. So it's okay to lose. I lose 20% of the time, which is still pretty good. That's a pretty good statistic to have. But at the end of the day, the math is the math. The math is the math. So don't add to your losers. Don't add to fix your average. Only add if the stock is confirming your thesis and going in your favor. Do not add if it is going against you. Do not make a losing trade a bigger losing trade, right? So let's get into it. So the way we build the watch is always look at the previous day's watches first and build from there. So CEP, same story, different day. So we'll wait until it breaks under 28 and then short bounces. 28 is the daily chart support. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. MLGO, $5. It should have $5. It was literally at $11 2 days ago. That's crazy. That's crazy. So I don't really see much of an edge here. I don't really see much of an opportunity here. It's already kind of come back down way too extreme. So nothing there. LFMD, I said yesterday that's a potential runner that is easy to borrow. Lo and behold, easy to borrow, potential runner. So no trade there, not interested there. Moving on. JFBR. So every day there's a main stock of the day. Every day there's a hot stock of the day. Today is JFBR, hot stock of the day. Ignoring short. What else is there? JTAI. JTAI is broken. So we'll look for 450, 475, $5 to short. JTAI, 450, 475, $5 to short. We had a lot of pop and drops today, so let's keep that in mind. STSS, so pop and drop as well, probably pop towards 677 at 730. STSS, 670, 730 to short. OMH from yesterday. If it gets a nice rebound back, I'll definitely be interested. You can see support here is acting as resistance. So like 330, I guess, would be okay. Small. 330. Let's say 360. And probably about 380s. OMH. 330. 360. 380 to short. What else is moving out there? We have, let's see, SAGT. Oops, SAGT. Pop and drop. So pop towards VWAP 520. 550 is 6. 520, 550, $6 to short. What else, guys? What else? What else? IVF. IVF, this is a little bit interesting. Kind of looks like a recent reverse split. Looks like it had a big move and kind of came back down. What's the float on this? Let's see. IVF. Float is 500,000 shares. Someone confirm? Looks like 1 million, 1.5 million. So nano flow, so probably gonna ignore this. So IVF, low float, probably gonna ignore this. What else? Looking around. Now let's talk about the overall markets. So overall markets. So the S&P 500 is down today. Markets are down today due to negative GDP growth. 2 quarters of negative GDP growth is the textbook definition of a recession, unless they changed it again. So a lot of people are fearful for that. Also the overall markets have rebounded big time. So I would assume that we will continue to pull back today. Oops, sorry. I assume that we'll continue to pull back today and consolidate. Large cap, mega cap earnings continue this week. Yeah, I screwed up. There should have been OMH. Sorry. Large cap, mega cap earnings continue this week with Microsoft and Meta today. So that will push the markets up or down into the after hours. So that's pretty much the watch list today, guys. So mega cap earnings today are going to sway the markets. PPBT, yeah, sure. Let me see. PPBT. PPBT is all the way back down. The range is kind of gone, so nothing really there. Even if it bounces to 3, it kind of seems a little bit risky. LMFD is not a first red day setup. It has only had 1 green day. So a first red day needs to have multiple days of extension. So this would be an example of first red day. If you look at SMCI, look at this. That's the difference on a first red day. Multiple extended green days up, and then a first red day. Not one green day and then one red day, right? So this is gonna be the watch list for today. Yes, I did lose money yesterday. Yes, I do want to make it back today, but I'm not going to be forcing trades just for the sake of making back my loss yesterday. I'm going to be just trading the process and letting the money come to me. I've already identified the hot stock of the day with JFBR, so let that extend, let that do its thing, and we'll take it from there. So a couple things before I pass it over to Steve is we are running a big promotion with Cobra Trading. You will get 60 days free commission, 60 days free platform, 90 days additional live trading access, and we will be selecting 10 people to come to the New York Stock Exchange with me. So really big giveaway, and this is only valid until May 16, or what was it, May 16, May 18. After that, it's going to go down to 30 days free commission, 30 days free platform, and 60 days live trading. So be sure to open up your account and fund your account before then to get double the bonus. Additionally, as you guys have heard, we are no longer working with Success Trader. They have had serious privacy concerns, leaking personal customer data. Also, there are certain compliance things that we cannot mention. So even if they drop your commissions, even if they match your commissions, even if they give you a back rub, I would still switch your account because I don't think it's safe there anymore. I have personally closed my account and I am not recommending them anymore. So if you have an account there, I would highly suggest that you guys move your account ASAP while the promotion with Cobra is still available. So with that being said, Steven, I'm going to pass the baton over to you, my friend, and I'll let you take it from here.
Sure thing. So Alex M, if you already have live trading, just DM me. We'll add 2 more months to it. Correct. So yeah, on Cobra, I mean, one thing that besides all these awesome promos, I mean, one thing that they also do is I'm pretty sure because that's the way it worked with me. But when I switched over a month ago or whatever it was, my max daily loss was already in place, and they do not give you the ability, from what I understand, to change it yourself during the same day, right? So, maybe it doesn't sound like much, but yeah, I talked to a member the other day who got in a lot of trouble by not having a max daily loss. So you need a max daily loss. I don't care who you are, how good you think you are. It's kind of like, to me, knowing how to swim, right? Maybe you don't plan to go swimming, you don't want to swim, you don't like to swim, but it's good to know how to swim, right? Maybe you're with your kids, they fall in the pool, whatever, you need to swim. It's just a good skill to have. Max daily loss doesn't mean you need it, doesn't mean you need to rely on it every day. But if something catastrophic happens, like whatever, your power goes out, there's no stop on there, you're just losing, you're spiraling out of control, you're revenge trading, everything's going wrong. It's good just to have that kind of safety on there, right? Like the analogy we like to use is, your stops are your seatbelt, but the max daily loss is your airbag. It can save your life, it can save your account. So I would switch just for the max daily loss feature, right? So that being said, we had some really great questions yesterday about sizing. So I thought I would kind of touch on this again, added some things, kind of figure we could go through this. If you guys have anything else, feel free to chime in. And when I get through this, I'll read through what you guys say or ask any questions. Yes, max daily loss. Oh yeah, good point, Mark. Max daily losses and stop losses do not work pre-market or after hours. So I would say if you're newer, just avoid it. There's not a lot of liquidity during those times, so tickers can move really erratically on not too much volume. So yeah, it only takes one time to get into a lot of trouble. People who do trade pre-market have usually been doing it a while, and they know that they need to stay glued to their screen and not look away, right? You can't just go to the bathroom and, your stop doesn't work, or there's no point to even have a stop on there. But I did get that question a couple weeks ago from a member who had a bigger loss than he wanted pre-market, couldn't figure out why his stop didn't work. So yeah, I recommend just trading during the market open, especially if you're newer. So sizing, size appropriate. Sorry, size appropriately for your skill and comfort level. If you're new or not yet consistent, keep it small. There's no reason to risk much until you can prove a few months of consistency, size correctly to survive the learning curve. This one rule is probably the best thing we could teach besides having a max daily loss, and it's probably the least listened to from what I see. Usually what happens is, and I talk about this every day, but people start, they size up too big when they're new, they're learning their platform, they're not yet consistent, and then they take a bunch of big losses and then they don't survive. And it's really a shame to see, because like I said yesterday, there could be that one key moment or one change in their trading, and it could have changed their life forever to becoming consistent. And it could have put them on a trajectory to do really well, but they never got there because they weren't sized correctly. So keep it small when you're new. If you are consistent, your size should depend on your comfort level. And this is something that Alex talked about yesterday, right? Not your account size necessarily. If you're trading with a size that you're not comfortable with, trading gets a lot tougher. So when we open a Cobra account, I think they've got like a $27,000 minimum. That doesn't mean that we're, starting off and we're risking anywhere near that amount of money. I started off with Cobra, whatever it was 6 years ago, and I didn't know anything about trading, and I had a $27,000 account, but I kept my risk to whatever it was, 50 or $100. I mean, at no point are you ever risking much. You don't need to risk anywhere near your account total. So I don't even really like to see a comparison of my account as this or that. I know some traders do slowly size up with their account. That's fine. But in general, I would just say keep it really small, especially if you're new. After you're consistent and you're ready to size up, take it slow. I usually recommend increasing size by 10 to 20% per month until you find your comfort level. How do you find your comfort level? We kind of talked about this yesterday, but anytime you're nervous in your trade, you're making mistakes, you're maybe not following your plan, you're not knowing what to do, you're probably sized in too big. Probably sized in too big. Something that Alex always talked about, and I've done this pretty much from day one, drop your size back down. Basically, after any red day, he always recommends to dropping your size down just to try to be green and have a green day and get your consistency back and your confidence back. But then I kind of take this a step further. If you are in the process of sizing up 10 to 20% per month, and you do have a red month, I would say go back down, to where you were before, or even go back to half, right? This will keep any drawdown. Sometimes you just maybe have more to learn, or your style isn't favored in the market. So a lot of traders, I used to do the same thing. We make the mistake of over trading when things aren't going well because we're trying to recoup losses. But the ironic thing is, usually if we've taken some losses or stops on the day, then it's probably just not our day. We're not trading well, or like I said, the market's just favoring the other side. So that's the time we hit our brakes. We don't keep kind of adding fuel to the fire, right? Finally, trading gets tough when you size up. If you can't make $20 per day consistently, sizing up isn't going to help. And then I love this quote from Phil. Phil, I don't know if you're around. Phil says, stay small enough, long enough. Sorry, it's kind of a rhyme. Stay small enough, long enough, and you will be big enough soon enough, right? So true, and it rhymes, so it must be true, right? Yeah, good one. Thanks, Phil. So we got about 3 minutes. That's it for me. Yeah, I'll pass it back over. Thanks,
Cool.
guys.
Thanks, Steve. So that's about it. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, we do live trading every day from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. This is just a preview of what live trading is like. We cut off the live stream at 9:29 on YouTube and start live trading at 9:30. So
Mhm.
We got about 2 minutes until the market opens up here. So, that being said, I will cut off the YouTube live stream here, and we will get to live trading in just a few minutes.